Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. We got fights tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff going on. I got a short video here, back by popular demand, I guess. My One of my friends was over, and he was absolutely convinced I had to put more of these out, even though we had a bad week. So we're gonna do it again, and we'll just go with it. So to date, we had one week where we hit almost every single pick, and it was like plus 260% money. So if you bet like 100, you'd be walking out with 360. We had one week where I lost all but two. So that was like a minus 80% on the bets. And then we had a week off. And then last week I went 6-6, and they're all prop bets, and we made about 100%. So I bet like 200 or so, about 20 on each fight, and I walked out with like 400 and change. Anyways, the this is what it is. These are AI picks. These are actually more refined than they used to be, and so I'm going to go through them one by one right now, and you can take a look, and we'll see what the first one is, and then we're going to start at the bottom, and we'll see. All right, so the first one is going to be Bolanos by decision. And I think the read on this fight was basically that he should be able to just outstrike and score more points. And they expect, based on like the recent history on the fights, that these guys should be going to decisions. So I bet this. I either bet it or I looked at the line, because I bet on DraftKings typically, and they don't always have the lines out when I start doing the math and figuring out on Monday, Tuesday, but they should be out today or tomorrow at the latest. So that line that I saw was plus 175. So if you bet 100, you'll win your 100 back plus 175. And obviously that works for 10 or 20 or whatever. So that's the first one. I don't think it's a huge upset. There's a couple of dogs in here, and we'll go through this. Will be a quick video, and we'll get you these picks. Petrovic by sub, the odds are not out for this when I first was looking at it. So it's going to be, if I had to guess, I think it'll be close to like plus 200. But we've got Petrovic by sub, and she's also a big favorite this week going in. But specifically, if you bet her by submission, be around plus 200 is my guess. We've got Santos, Yana Santos. Used to be Yana Kunitskaya, and she's fighting Misha Tate, right? Which I was reading that, and I was like, I'm surprised this is like it seems almost like a prelim card, but I think basically the math says Yana Kunitskaya is going to win this on points, and Misha Tate has like an 80% chance of going to the cards. So it's basically like highly likely to be a decision point striking kind of contest, and they think that Yana can stuff a lot of the takedowns from Misha. So makes sense to me, but again, plus money. So the nice thing is when you're doing these plus money bets, you don't have to win every single one of them, because if you win one or two, you're going to be ahead, and that's why last week you can see here I had the 6-6, but it still worked out. So even though I lost six bets, I still made 100% of my money, and it wasn't like one crazy one. I bet 20 on everything. Ponzinibbio, this is the first one that I think is maybe a little bit of a surprise, at least when I first looked at it and I was thinking about it. I said, oh, I don't know. I think D-Rod's younger, probably more volume. But the math says otherwise. It says that Ponzinibbio should win the fight with experience and striking ability, and also fighting against higher level competition, whereas D-Rod is kind of plateaued at a certain point. So they think that he should win. Now, the downside is D-Rod probably has more volume, but they think that Ponzinibbio will be able to land more damage and to work around him and just have the higher ceiling. So this is again 200, and I would bet if you bet on D-Rod, it's probably even slightly higher. But same ballpark. So if you disagree with me, that's fine. If you disagree with this fine looking robot over here, that's fine. But that's the pick. And City. So this is another one. Basically, it's kind of same narrative, like outpoint, outstrike. Should just be the more dangerous guy. And we've got him by decision at plus 190. This is Rodriguez, different one. And same thing. This is going to be like another ladies' fight. We've got her by decision, which is actually an underdog play. She opened, I think, as a favorite, like a small favorite, and now we've got her at decision. So if you take Rodriguez by decision plus 400, that's pretty crazy, because I'd say it's likely that it goes to decision. And at plus 400, you're getting 4-1. So this is obviously, we hope this comes through. Dontel Mays by KO, another big play here, plus 400. Now, on paper, I think a lot of people are going to think that I think it's Thomas Almeida is the guy who's fighting. They're going to say, well, he wrestles and he might take Mays down, and Mays isn't that good. But the math says that Mays is good enough that he's going to be up enough and that he's going to KO this guy. So I'm okay. I mean, it's heavyweight, and I think it's Thomas Almeida. I don't have it in front of me. He's like an early prelim guy, right? He's not fighting John Jones. So I think there's every chance that Dontel Mays can crack this guy and get him out of there in the first round or two. The skill level is down there. Mason Jones, and he is fighting against Jeremy Stevens, bare knuckle fighting. So this one, I think a lot of people are going to bet on Jeremy Stevens. They're going to recognize the name. He's back. He's fighting. I think it's because it's like a hometown deal. They're fighting in Iowa this weekend. But Jones should be able to outstrike him volume-wise, not have too much of like a wrestling threat. He's younger. He's got like kind of like check the box all the way across, and so they're looking at it. But this is one that could be close, and Stevens is a potential for an upset. Stevens could win by KO or by decision, but I think the odds are like 30% chance. So, take it for what it is. This is probably a close fight, and they're probably both pretty banged up when it's over. And who knows if Stevens is ever going to fight in the UFC again. So this could be a one and done. He might just let it all hang out. I have no idea. But they think that Jones technically should be able to score more and win more. Stevens always has a chance for that big moment, though. I remember when he fought Doo Ho Choi, who now looks amazing, by the way. But years ago in Florida, we were betting on him. I think his name back then was like the Korean Superboy or something. And he got starched. It was insane. Stevens just came over the top and hit this kid, and I was like, he died. I remember sitting at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was like, no, my parlays. So take it for what it is, but at plus 150 again, we want that plus money. Loader. This is another one, and I can't remember. I should have pulled it up, but Loader. We got Loader by sub, and I can't remember who that. Hang on, I'm gonna check it now. I want to make sure. Who is Loader fighting. Loader. He's on the prelim. Ryan Loader and Bakoyev. So this is another one that's kind of crazy. So Loader has like dangerous submissions, and obviously that's why we have him by submission. But Bakoyev they think is like dangerous standing up also. I think though it plus 1,200 on the guy who you think's gonna win by sub, and he's a jiu-jitsu guy, like we're all over it. So historically, we mostly hit the plus money, like anywhere in the like 350 and under. Once you're getting into these like 400, 1,200, it's gonna get riskier. But I'm in. Like if you're gonna pay me 12-1 and it's a jiu-jitsu guy in there who they think is gonna win, I'm all over it. Montel Jackson. This is KO City. And this is also probably like the lock of the week. So Montel Jackson has literally everything going for him. He's got height, he's got reach, he's got KO power. He has sufficient takedown defense to be able to handle what's coming back at him. I think this I was thinking Montel was going to win, and then he's fighting Daniel Marcos, who I think Marcos has to wrestle, and he also Daniel Marcos has like more volume, but it's more like pitter patter volume. Whereas Montel Jackson's just cracking. So reach advantage, height advantage, like this is a perfect setup for a big KO. Probably early too. It's only going to take like one to get this guy on shaky legs. Bo Nickel by KO. This I thought was a surprising pick. So here's the logic: is Bo Nickel is fighting against Deridier. I don't know how to say it right. Rene Deridier. And he's like a jiu-jitsu guy. Bo Nickel's a wrestling guy. NCAA champion, 3X, all that. We all know. But the read is basically like Bo Nickel should be better in the stand-up. Bo Nickel should be better at controlling, potentially, as long as he doesn't get submitted. And Bo Nickel should, at some point, be able to actually outwork Deridier, where Deridier will get tired, and then Bo Nickel unloads on him. So, like, the kind of game plan here is, like, later, maybe round 2, maybe even round 3, Bo Nickel on top, elbows, finishes. It's not going to be like a walk-off KO, but the prediction is basically Bo Nickel will outwork him and get him out of there before it's over. And you can see that Bo Nickel is a crazy favorite right now. Because when you take these prop bets, you're going to get juice. So for him to be plus 150 at KO, one, it's crazy because he's not really like a KO guy. But two, he's such a big favorite to win the fight that the KO money is still just coming in at plus 150. But that's what I'm going to go for. You can't bet him straight up because I think he's minus 800 or something, minus 400, whatever it is. You don't want that. That's like you need to bet that bet 4 times or 8 times to just break even. So don't do that. Take him by KO or by finish or inside the distance or any one of those bets. But this is what Mr. AI spit out for me. And here's the last one. I don't think this is a big like surprise, but you can see this is actually the only negative money one on there. And again, Sandhagen's like a big favorite, but by decision, you get him down to minus 150, which is a little more palatable. And that's what we're going to take. So of these, I'm going to flash it over here for 1 second. It was, yes. So these 3, Deridier by sub, Bekoyev by sub, Tokos and Jeremy Stevens by KO or decision. Those are my 4 potential upsets. So if something goes wrong, that's where it would be. So if you're going to be super conservative on this, avoid those 4 fights entirely. But I think you can go okay. I mean, these are the favorite picks, the favorite ways to win, and there's at least something to the system because when you're going 50-50, which you should be able to do like every time more or less, and you're able to produce 100% profit, I think that's super interesting. I was a little shook up when we had the bad week 3 weeks ago, but we're going to just put it out there. Don't bet your mortgage. Don't bet your life on this. This is my picks. I bet all of these, or I'm about to. I got to do a few more of these props that came out probably yesterday, today. But I'm going to have them all in. I'm going to bet like $20 on each one, and we'll see what happens. So if you want to join me, that's what I'm doing. And if you have any critiques, comments, feel free, jump in. Good luck, everybody. I hope you enjoy the fights, and we'll be back on Monday opening up another half case, the last half case of UFC Finest. We've got 4 more hobby boxes to do, and then we're on to something new. Thanks, everybody. See ya.